Good evening once again. So now we are in part 3 of Excel, and this time I'm going to show some of the basic functions what we are using in Excel. For instance, we are going to deal with maximum, minimum, average, count, and some of the basic functions like totaling and all. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe and click on the like button, and without wasting time, let's start. So as of now we are going to use this table which I have created in Excel. As you can see here, a daily collections report I have created with some students name and the fees that have been collected for the month of May. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, some fees has been collected, and we are going to see the total row wise and column wise. Then we are going to check the percentage, then average, min, max, and count. So let's start. So first of all, you see we are going to do the totaling of the first row, right? So in the first row, as you can see, if I click on the selected third row, you can see the entire row has been selected, and this particular total column, that is the I3, this particular column we are going to find the total. So what is the formula of total, or rather we are going to use here function sum. Now you see this is the easiest and shortcut way of selecting. Just click on pressing the shift button. We are going to select the entire row from C to H, correct? And we are going to close the round bracket. Now let's check. Okay, so we got a total of all the rows of the daily collections, and we are getting as 2102, right? Now what is relative cell reference theory? As in part 1 I have already told what it does. It automatically updates the formula with the particular cell reference. Now you can see here the cells has been updated, right? So this is my total of all the rows. This is the quickest method of totaling in Excel. Okay, so what we have used, if you want to see the formula or the functions what you have used in a particular cell, you just select that cell and click on the functions key F2. Remember, we are going to select F2, and if you don't want to select it, you just press escape button, ESC button, and you are back to the result. Okay, so this is the quickest way of selecting the particular cell and seeing the applied formula or functions on that particular cell. Okay, now we are going to see the total of the column. So the same formula remains, but only the selections range will be different. Here we have selected row wise, here we will be selecting the column wise. So again we'll start with the formula equals to sum, round bracket start. Pressing the shift button, we are going to select the third till the 8th, and we are going to close the round bracket, pressing enter, and you can see the result. Now here we are going to select it column wise, and we are going to drag it towards the row so that we get the sum of all the columns, right? In order to get this particular row, we have to select it horizontally. When you drag it horizontally, you will get all the total of that particular column, and till 6th May we can get the total like this, right? Now here what we are going to do, we are going to take the total of all the students collected together. It would be a summations of all that particular column. That's the total column. So we are going to see all the students collections by clicking on that particular column and dragging till last. Okay, and it is the ith column. You can see here, as I have selected from I3 to I8, and I'm pressing enter, and you see this is the total. So we are going to highlight this in order to use this particular data for the percentage. Now here you see how to calculate the percentage. Now observe carefully. Now while we calculate the percentage, we are going to use a user defined formula. Now what is the difference between a user defined formula and a functions? User defined formulas are kind of complex formula which users try to make using the data for their own convenience, whereas the inbuilt functions which are given, they are used for some basic calculations like sum, average, minimum, max, count. All these functions we can do using functions. But user defined, it has to be self defined by the user. So how to do that? So we are going to take here I3 cell I3 I'm going to take, okay, divide by the total what we have just collected, that's 14,307. We are not going to take the data, but in terms we are going to take the cell reference, which will make my all the cells instantly updated. Okay, so I am going to take I9. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it in the round bracket. Since we are going to multiply 100, so according to the BODMAS rule, we are going to take the round bracket first, then we are going to multiply with 100. Now this gives the percentage of that particular student in that particular row. Now you see the percentage calculated out of the total of that particular student is 14.69. Now observe here, if I drag the cell so that it instantly updated using the relative cell references, you see there's an error thrown here. Now in the last video I've already spoken of why this divide by zero error is appearing, because as the cells columns are getting updated, so is the total cell is also getting updated, right? Due to which it is also showing a null cell. See here, no values are defined, so it is taking divide by zero. As we know in mathematics, any number divided by zero is undefined, right? So in Excel also, if I click on that particular cell and press F2, now see I4, okay, data is there, but I10 there is no data, right? Due to which it is throwing this divide by zero error. Now how to overcome or how to fix this error? Now the simple way or the trick is make it absolute cell reference. So how I can make it? By using the dollar sign. I am fixing the row and column both, especially in this total cell. This cell should be fixed because these are, as these are getting updated, this should be fixed because the total is fixed for all the rows, right? For all the students the total remains the same, only the particular total of that particular student is being updated. So here what we are taken I3 in the first, as I have applied the formula on the first, so here the formula remains the same, but we are just adding a dollar sign to fix the total. Okay, so I fix the total and press in enter. You see the value is still the same, but you mark the difference when I'm clicking on the plus sign and I'm using the fill options to fill the rest of the cells. Yes, now you can see here the difference by zero error is gone, and in place of it some values has been there. So why this is happening? Because we have made this as absolute cell referencing, right? Now we have calculated the percentage. Now how to calculate the average? Now average is pretty easy. Just if you want to calculate this row wise, since we are going to calculate this row wise, so we'll see the average formula. It's just use your caps lock, or you can, it is case insensitive, so it doesn't matter if you write in capital letter or small. Just you have to write the formulas average in bracket. You are going to select the particular cells to particular cell, okay, till which, okay. Now you see the average is coming 350. Okay, so we have selected from C3 till H3. Okay, so it is selecting Priya's data and we are getting the average of this. Now when we drag using the fill options, you can see automatically the cells are getting updated. Now what is actually average formula? Average is pretty simple. Average is nothing but to a total of all the cells divided by number of cells taken. That is the user defined formula. If I'm going to use the user defined formula here, how am I going to calculate? Equal to, I'm just going to use the sum brackets, and I'm going to select the entire cell, you see, from here till here. Okay, divide by how many cells I have taken? 6. Okay, let's see. So you can see here that data is actually coming the same here, right? So this is my user defined formula. Now Excel has given us the privilege, since average and some of the functions are or formulas are used more frequently, so we as a user they have given us the provisions of not defining it manually but automatically using the function's name, and we can select the number of cells and automatically the calculations will be happening. You can use it alternatively by giving the cell referencing also and user defined formula. So this is the user defined formula, sum C3 colon H3, this is the range of cell you have selected, divide by 6, that is the number of cells you have selected. Okay, now coming to the minimum. Now what is minimum? Minimum, it will return me the highest value of a particular row or column and give me the result. Similarly, maximum will give me that, whereas minimum will give the minimum number of value amongst the cell or row or column. Similarly, maximum will give me the maximum amount of value of that particular column or row. So let's check row column wise. So I'm going to take from here till here. So first I'll check the minimum. So how to check? Select that particular cell where you want the results to be. Go to the formula bar, equal to sum, give min. Now this is the formula for min. As you type min, you can already see in my formula bar some of the functions has been highlighted. So I'll just select the cell range. From same process, use your shift key button and select the entire cell range. You can see C3 to C8 has been selected, and I close the round bracket. Now you see amongst this cell, which is the mean value, 234. So 234 is of previous value on 1st May, that has been returned here as the mean value. Now if you want the same formulas to be or functions to be applied to the rest of the cell, just drag it horizontally and you can see the value has appeared. So you can see in the 5th of May, you can compare by yourself only. You can see 5th of May, the lowest value was 500 amongst this row. Similarly, 122 was the lowest value in this row, so I'm coloring with yellow all the lowest values. Similarly, 767 is on this row, in this row. Okay, and you can see here 23 is in particular this row. Okay, so 456 here and 234 here. So you can see Priya's data is the lowest collections. So you can see all the data has been returned in the minimum column. Similarly, if I want to calculate the maximum, so how would I calculate? Equals to max. Now I'm going to select the entire column from here till here. Okay, and I'm closing the round bracket. Now you see this is my maximum value in this particular column. So if I take this, it will be, I'm coloring it with red for your convenience. So you can see this is the maximum collections on 1st May. This is date wise collections, you can see here. Okay, similarly 461 is the maximum collected, that is of Tanvi. Similarly is 349, you can see it's been collected this 349, and 772 this, 505 this, and 127 this. So the maximum values or fees collected is of Tanvi. You can see 1st May till 6th May, all the highest value has been returned. Correct? So this is how we are finding the maximum and minimum of the cell. Now what is count? Now count, generally it's used for VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. When we are going to use that formula, we are going to see the use of count, but as of now we are going to, it returns the number of cells it counts, or the row wise or column wise, and gives the results. So let's see column wise. So if I am using count, I'm using the functions name count. As I type the functions name, you can readily see the functions. It is highlighted here with the values. It is asking what type of values, so you have to select either the cell range or individual cells separated by comma, right? So you can select it range wise. If I select from here to here, okay, so I'm going to select only the fees, not the total. So we are going to see how many cells has been selected. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Similarly, if I drag it row wise, you can see all my respective columns have been updated with the value 6, because we are only selecting the values which are having the fees. We left the total, minimum and max, and we have only selected the count. So okay, pretty is the this is what is the basic functions in Excel. It's all about. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's all for today, students. So let's hope meet it for next video. So next video we are going to see what is H lookup and V lookup. So don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you all, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.